Hello, everyone. Welcome to the last session of the Noble Network Virtual College Fair. My name is Sarah. I am the facilitator today. Thank you so much for joining us. Before we get to our wonderful college presentations today, a few housekeeping items before we get started. This is a webinar. Your camera and microphone are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type questions to our presenters at any time. And I encourage you to ask questions throughout the presentations, not just towards the end. So that way it gives our presenters a chance to answer your questions. We do encourage you as well to indicate which college you are referring to in your question, so that way our presenters can properly help and assist you with those questions. This presentation is being recorded as well as others and will be available within about a week at strivescan.com/noble. I'd now like to turn it over to our first college today, Aquinas College. Take it away.
Thank you so much, Sarah, and welcome everyone. I'm so excited to be here to talk a little bit more about Aquinas College. So Aquinas, we are a small private Catholic liberal arts school located in Grand Rapids, Michigan. We're in the second biggest city in Michigan. Average class size is going to be about 16 students. So you're not going to see those big 300, 400 person lecture halls. You're really going to be able to get some good one-on-one attention with your professors. I'm actually an alum of Aquinas, and personally, when I was looking at schools, that is definitely something that I wanted. I wanted to be able to not just be a number in my classes, but to be Lindsay in every single one of my classes as well. So you're definitely going to get that at Aquinas. You're going to build those relationships with your professors, that is for sure. We also have close to about 60, a little over 60 majors to choose from, top 3 being our business, our health sciences, and then our education department. We just actually underwent a $32 million renovation to our science building. So it's brand spanking new, which is always, it's been really, really wonderful for our students. And when you come and visit, you'll be able to also see that facility as well. We do have about 70 clubs and organizations for our students to get involved with, everything from our outdoor and recreation club to, we just added an equestrian club, we just added a marketing club. So a lot of different ways for our students to get involved. Plus we are part of the NAIA, so we're comparable to that D2, D3 school, but differences. We allow for partial athletic scholarships, everything from, we just added men's swimming, men's and women's swimming, I should say, and rugby. We also have, men's and women's volleyball, hockey, golf, bowling, basketball, baseball. We have a wide variety of sports for our students to get involved with as well, if that's something that you are also interested in. Plus, we are a Catholic institution. About half of our students are Catholic. So we stick within our Dominican tradition of being a very inclusive environment. Everything we do is for every single person on campus. And that is definitely everything we do kind of falls under the 4 pillars of prayer, study, service, and community. So our clubs and organizations fall under one of those things. You probably will hear community a lot. Whenever anybody talks about Aquinas, it's the first thing that they really think of is that we are an incredible community, not only on campus, but also off campus too. You get to become a part of this little wooded community because we are kind of tucked away in Grand Rapids. Because like I mentioned, we're in the second biggest city in Michigan, Grand Rapids, Michigan. So you have a lot to do, not only on campus, but off campus as well. This helps out our students for internship opportunities, job opportunities. We have a 96% placement rate 6 months after you graduate of either getting into a full-time position or getting into a grad program of your choice. Odds are pretty good we're going to find something after we graduate. So students really get to explore the Grand Rapids area. And because our professors get to know our students really well, they're able to introduce them to facilities and places and people off campus. That's how students get internships, by, having their professor get to know them really well and suggesting an internship. And I think, I tell my students this all the time, I think that at Aquinas, you're going to learn how to advocate for yourself. And that is a learned trait, I firmly believe. So Aquinas is going to give you those tools to be able to go out and find that internship, go out and get prepared for that grad program. So we have some really great relationships that build not only on campus, but off campus as well. So you get really the best of both worlds here at Aquinas. There's a lot more I could say. I know we have limited time as well. But just know that you at Aquinas, you're really going to be able to get some good one-on-one attention with your professors, build those relationships, and there's a little bit of everything for everyone here. And what's nice is being on a smaller campus, you're going to get the time to be able to do that. We're a liberal arts school, so you do take a number of general education courses on top of whatever major you end up deciding on. I changed my major 3 times, and I thought I knew exactly what I wanted to study when I graduated from high school. So liberal arts school is going to give you that time, give you those resources to be able to really, truly turn your passion into purpose. And being that you get that relationship building at a smaller campus, on top of being in the second biggest city of Michigan, the opportunities are definitely going to be endless. I'd love to answer any questions at the end or put them in the chat as well. Again, Lindsay Hanson from Aquinas, and just so excited that you guys are all here. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Aquinas College. Next up, we have Earlham College.
Hi, everyone. Let me just put some information in the chat and then share my screen. So my name is John Wolfgang. I'm the admissions counselor who all of you will be talking with if you have any questions about Earlham. But yeah, so let me just hop right into it. So Earlham is a small private liberal arts college located in Richmond, Indiana. When we say small, we mean small. We floated about 800 students, but despite that, we have really great representation amongst our student body, students from 40 plus different states. Our international student population is 23%. That number is anywhere from number 1 to top 5 in the nation amongst all liberal arts schools in any given year. Our domestic students of color percentage is 25%. So again, you can find people with similar backgrounds to you on campus. You can find people with different backgrounds to you. And we find that's really important. So we were originally founded in 1847 as a Quaker school. Only about 10% of our students and faculty are Quakers. We found it's been really beneficial to always have kind of that constancy that we can lean on. Whenever we face a challenge, we know what principles we're gonna go to. But yeah, so we are also, as I mentioned, a liberal arts college, which means we offer a variety of different majors and minors, and students can get involved with any of these that really kind of suits their passions. So some of the big ones that we have here are going to be anything that is related to medicine, right? So biology or biochemistry or neuroscience, these are all really popular because our med school placement rate is over double the national average. So that means you're getting the best of the best when it comes to pre-med advising. In fact, the president of the National Pre-Med Advisors Association is an Earlham professor. So you truly are getting the best preparation possible. The interdisciplinary aspect of an Earlham education is also something that's really appealing. So a lot of students are interested in things like sociology and anthropology, or peace and global studies, or exercise science, right? Things which are at their core really covering a lot of different topics. Environmental sustainability is really big on campus. We have an 800-acre campus, right? So that's 1.25 square miles. And so that means students can get practical experience working with kind of environmental sustainability on campus, right? We have a watershed, we have woods available, we have prairies. Students can do their own research right here on campus. And then the Japanese language and linguistics and Japanese studies programs are also really popular. We have an established relationship with Waseda University in Japan, which means that we offer a double degree with them. So you can study for 5 years, 3 semesters of which are actually in Japan at Waseda University, and you graduate with 2 different bachelor's degrees. So that's a really great opportunity to be able to offer students. Classroom experience, I would say, differentiates us even more than the academic offerings. The average class size is 13 students. That really is fantastic to have that personal connection with your professor. As you can see, our student to faculty ratio here is 9:1. We're an undergraduate college, right? So that means that when you have your lectures and then it gets broken down into seminars or labs, you are still working with a professor. You aren't being taught by a PhD student. You aren't being taught by a master's candidate. And that allows you to develop not only personal connections with your professor, which again is kind of aided by the fact that professors are called by their first names. That's originally comes from our Quaker principles, but we found it's really beneficial just to making sure students form those relationships with the professors who are going to eventually be giving them letters of recommendation and kind of offering them internships and research opportunities, exposing them to all these different things. It really is important that you have that relationship with your professors. And again, it's something that's fostered because they're teaching your labs, they're teaching your seminars in addition to teaching the lectures. We also have something called the Earlham Advantage. So the Earlham Advantage is guaranteed funding for an internship or research opportunity that every student has during their time on campus. It's up to $5,000 in funding. And we have career coaches available to make sure you really find something that you're passionate about that you can put that money towards. We also have a variety of off-campus and study abroad programs. So we have over 15 different entirely Earlham run off-campus study abroad opportunities. Those are included within your tuition for the semester or year that you're studying abroad, which means you aren't paying any extra if you want to, for instance, go to Japan or go to Germany or go to Ghana and study there, get involved with, kind of actual practical real world experience in those communities. So there really is just a lot that we can offer to our students. And as you can see, the internships, these students go to really incredible places. There's Adobe Systems, there's the Wyoming Dinosaur Center, there's the Alaska Zoo, just a lot of great things that you can do with Earlham's backing. As far as student life, we have over 60 different student-led clubs and organizations. You can always start one if you share an interest with your friends. As far as athletics, we have 17 men's and women's D3 teams. D3 means we don't offer athletic scholarships, but it also means we don't place unreasonable expectations on our student athletes, right? They have the time to get involved with the campus community, really foster a healthy environment around college sports, which is really important to us. And then res life. So we have 8 different residence halls. That includes singles, doubles, quads, suite style. All of those cost the same, and you are guaranteed housing all 4 years. So you're never going to get kicked off as a senior because we want to make room for a freshman. You can always find a place to stay at Earlham. We have theme and friendship housing as well. So those are university-owned homes, which line 2 sides of our campus that, are things like French House or Japanese Studies House or Music Health or House, right? There's a lot of different things that, a lot of different interests represented in those where you and your friends can live. As far as the admission process, we take the Common App or we take the Earlham College application. Just do the Common App. You can use it for a lot of schools, right? It's going to be easier. Test optional. We're test optional. During the pandemic, we're test optional. Outside the pandemic, we really do focus on that holistic application reading. As far as scholarships, students are automatically considered for merit scholarships anywhere from $20,000 to $30,000 a year for all 4 years. And need-based aid, as you can see, over 95% of our students receive some sort of financial aid. That's a fantastic number. In terms of our endowment for the number of students we have, we're richer than 2 Ivy League institutions. So we can put together some fantastic packages for our students, and we only need the FAFSA to be able to do that. We aren't requiring an Earlham specific component or anything like that to, kind of find ways to charge you more. No, we're interested in making sure an education is affordable for our students. If you want to get in touch, you can feel free to reach out to me. My info is available on the screen. I also put my email in the chat. And then the general admissions, you can also contact us there, give us a phone call, whatever works best for you. All right. Thanks so much. I hope you guys are all staying safe.
Thank you. Next up, Kalamazoo College.
Hi, I'm just going to put some information in the chat here as well, and then try and share my screen, which I can't find now. There it is. All right. So, hi, my name is Alexandra Altman, and I am the Regional Admission Counselor for Kalamazoo College. I'm also a proud graduate of K. I live here in the Chicago area, so I work with students throughout Illinois. And Kalamazoo College is a small liberal arts and sciences college in Southwest Michigan. We are a member of the Colleges That Change Lives, which is a great resource for learning more about small liberal arts, like schools like K and some of our other institutions on this call. Kalamazoo is only 2.5 hours from downtown Chicago, and the Amtrak train goes right into Kalamazoo. I actually took the train here yesterday. Campus is walking distance from the train station and our vibrant downtown community. You might have heard a little bit more about Kalamazoo this year, given that we are home to Pfizer. We have about 1,500 students on our residential campus, and about 35% of those students identify as domestic students of color, and 7% are international students. We offer an inclusive orientation program with supports for first year and first generation students from all over the country. And because of this, K has a very strong 4-year graduation rate and retention rate. Kalamazoo College is known for the K plan. This offers a resume building experiential education opportunity for our students. And you can work with the Center for Career and Professional Development for on-campus jobs and internships. We have a Center for Civic Engagement and the Arcus Center for Social Justice Leadership. Those institutions help us affect change in our communities. And then you also are working with our faculty on research that will impact the world. You develop close relationships with your professors through our small class sizes as well, and advisors who are personally invested in your success. And what's cool about the K-Plan is that everyone's individual K-Plan ends up being completely unique. We have an open and flexible curriculum, and this means you don't take some of the traditional gen ed classes that you would at other institutions, and you can personalize your experience right away. Also, we don't ask you to declare a major until the middle of sophomore year, so you have lots of time to explore the different subject areas that you're interested in. Our calendar is made up of 3 10-week terms, and students take 3 classes each term. Students also complete a senior individualized project as a capstone to their college experience. And this could be an in-depth research, internship-based, or something creative like a performance or an art exhibit. COVID caused us to hit pause on our study abroad program this past year, but I'm excited to say that we have sent 4 students to Thailand and normally have about 70% of our students study abroad. We have more than 50 programs in 25 countries, and there are 3, 6, and 9-month options. But the most common time for you to study abroad would be fall and winter of your junior year. This opportunity is accessible to all students and all majors, and your scholarships and financial aid will transfer to most of the programs. We also have study away options in the United States, including one in New York City that is focused on the performing arts. Some of our top majors include biology and chemistry, business, psychology, and English. Again, you don't need to choose a major until the middle of your sophomore year, and you can double major or have a major and minor in different departments, thanks to the flexibility of the K-Plan. We have a health sciences advisor who works with all students interested in careers in medicine as well. And there are 2 level 1 trauma centers in Kalamazoo and an arboretum if you're interested more in environmental studies and field research. Kalamazoo College has been test optional for more than 5 years. We are on the Common App, and we do a holistic review of your application. Test scores do not factor into our admission, merit-based scholarship, or financial aid decisions. Our merit-based scholarships range from $21,000 to $35,000, and we also offer a competitive scholarship for the performing arts, but that doesn't mean you have to major in theater or music to be eligible. Our student athletes also participate in Division III athletics, as my colleague said, and we are recognized for our strong tennis and swimming and diving teams. We are also building a new natatorium on campus. It's almost done, so super exciting. We offer lots of different and unique clubs, like a circus club, a cappella groups, student newspaper to be a part of, but there is no Greek life at K. Please check out our virtual visit programs. You can use the QR code on the screen. We have things like the weekly buzz, and we offer virtual tours led by a current student. And we are also open for in-person tours if that's something that you're comfortable with. Our next virtual open house is on May 15th, and those include a student panel, which is always really valuable. I encourage you to follow us on Instagram as well. We're at KZoo Admission to learn more about life on campus and our amazing alumni. And if you would like to sign up for more information, I put a link in the chat. So again, my name is Alexandra, and I really look forward to connecting with you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Next up, we have Beloit College. And as a reminder, please go ahead and put some questions in the Q&A if you have them, and indicate which college you are addressing in the Q&A.
Great, thank you. Hi, everyone. It's nice to see you all virtually here joining this presentation today. Thank you so much for being here. My name is Jana Fritz, and I'm an admission counselor at Beloit College, but more importantly and more proudly, I'm an alum. I just graduated in May of 2020, so I was just in this process like you are now 5 years ago, so it feels like a blink of an eye, and all of a sudden I'm already graduated. But I'm going to talk to you about Beloit. It's actually the only college that you're hearing from right now that's in Wisconsin, and we're about an hour and a half away from Chicago and from all the noble campuses. So at Beloit, we love to say that every number tells a story. Now, of course, our students aren't numbers. They're much more than that, but it is still really helpful for the facts and the statistics of the school. So our student body is around 1,200 students, and we have a hugely diverse population. So we have students representing over 43 states and over 40 countries, but extreme diversity in terms of socioeconomic status, your race, and just culturally diverse students. And because of that, there's a lot of diversity of thought. And when that happens, naturally we have lots of double majors and double minors and many popular majors because students like to take a little bit of everything while they're here. So you can see there's anthropology, biochemistry, creative writing. But for anthropology, we actually have our own museum on campus with over 400,000 artifacts inside. So you're going to get a lot of hands-on experience specifically for anthropology, but of course in all our other departments as well. With all that diversity, with taking lots of different classes, double majoring, having time for everything, clearly works out really well for our students because we have over 93% of our students that are employed or in grad school post-graduation within 6 months. So we're doing really, really well with that because we cater to our students, their focuses and to their interests while they're here from the very beginning. So with our advanced mentoring program, that is our promise that within 72 hours of choosing Beloit, we choose you as well, and we commit to you with an academic advisor within those 3 days. So right away, in the summer even, they're going to be with you planning your classes, your schedules, kind of teaching you about Beloit and telling you what there is, as well as many workshops. Even when you get to Beloit, that class kind of meets every 2 weeks, and you just, resume building, network building, connections, workshops, all these kind of things to help you kind of focus and choose a major. And then at the end of your 2 years, once you do have your major, you get to be a part of a career channel. You can also join earlier if you want to, but these career channels are really just built to build your focus and get a little more deep into what you're studying. So for example, a arts career channel that will really connect you with opportunities in the city, with internships. And this little map here on the screen does show where Beloit is in regards to Chicago, Milwaukee, and Madison. They are all larger cities, so there are many experiences for internships and different opportunities that you can have in those larger cities through these career channels. So you're always going to get, updates and everything for cool opportunities and cool connections to be made through your professors, through different mentors that you have while you're here, because the focus is on you as a student, and as is our campus. Our campus is completely designed for you. The most obvious point I would say is the powerhouse. It's our new student union and recreation center on campus. It was an old coal-powered energy plant, and we completely renovated it. So it's kind of the place for all the fun, the food, the study, group spaces, everything that you can think of for a college student is all in that one building. But we also have 18 varsity teams for Division III varsity sports if you want to, but again, of course, the focus is on your athletics or on your academics, excuse me. It's student first and then athlete in the student athlete title. But we also have many special interest houses, a really awesome downtown, a whole office dedicated to student engagement and leadership, teaching you to be a leader on campus and just getting engaged on campus community, as well as some awesome clubs and intramurals, and work opportunities that actually matter while you're here, not just sitting at a desk for hours, but actually getting some experience out of that to help you later on in your career and in whatever future you end up going into. And community has never mattered more than now with COVID. I know what sets us apart from a lot of these campuses that you've heard from today, these schools, is that Beloit has really stepped up with COVID and with our action plan for that. So we published a new action plan, which is just a set of academic, personal, and financial support to students in response to COVID. So we were actually named the #5 most innovative college in the country because of this amazing plan, and it's been updated for this coming year. So it's the Beloit Action Plan 2.0, as well as our statement of culture. The students really took a step forward and were like, we need to make our own rules and we need to decide what we can do as a student body to support each other. So they wrote our statement of culture this year and really just took leadership in establishing those behavioral expectations for COVID. And I'm very proud to say that since our return from our winter break, we have not had a single case on campus. So we're doing really, really well with our students' safety, as well as continuing their academics and their pretty normal life in a weird pandemic year. For some quick admissions facts, as I know many of you are starting your application processes in the fall, we are a very holistic review for applications. So, we look more than just your GPA. We look at your essay, your recommendations, your extracurricular activities. What are you involved in? Who are you as a person? That's just beyond your grades. And we also are test optional, and we have been for a really long time, and we will continue to do so. That's not just a COVID thing, but we're very proud to say that we know that tests aren't necessarily the best demonstration of who you are as a student. So we're very, very happy with our application process, and I hope to see some applications from you. But there's my contact information on the screen. My name is Yana, and I work with students from the Chicago private and charter schools. I'm very happy to do so. We also are open for on-campus visits, and you can have a meeting with me one-on-one and with another student as their guide one-on-one. So, you know, get out, visit
Thank you
campus.
so much, Yana. We do have to move on to the next college today, Augustana College.
Thanks so much. All right, so let me get this up. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here today. My name is Christian Brown, and I currently serve as the Chicagoland Regional, actually, for Augustana College here in the local Chicago area. So Augustana College, if you've not heard of us before, we are a small liberal arts school located about 3 hours west of the Chicagoland area. Right now, what you're looking at is actually an aerial view of our community. A lot of larger town amenities. I know students that come from Chicago are often like, I don't want to give things up. Totally understand. You will not be doing that in the Quad Cities area. We have a lot of those same amenities, just with a smaller community feel. Our campus is right here, specifically in the Rock Island area. A little couple of facts about our campus. We're at currently about 2,500 students with an 11-to-1 student-teacher ratio. We've got 90 academic programs, and naturally, because of our size, we are offering a smaller classroom setting. So if you're a student that kind of prefers a more intimate experience for your college campus, we would be a really good option to look at. We currently, again, have 90 academic programs, and on the screen show a couple of those. This is an intentional graphic. It does show where a lot of our students have maybe double majored or have claimed into a major in those bolder places. And all of this information is available online to definitely look up a list of what we offer. Our two newest academic programs are data analytics and kinesiology. And so if you are interested in having a smaller school experience, but with those very science-driven ideas and experiences, we do offer that here on our campus. Students always like to know, kind of what are the quick facts. And so these are three of my favorite. Right now, we are at an 89% rate for students who are having some type of extra, or I call it an outside experience opportunity. So whether that's an internship or, a travel away, something that is additional outside of just being in class every day. Our classroom spaces are great. Again, they have about 18 students on average, and even get a little smaller than that after you get past your freshman year. But we want to really emphasize that world experience and how it does really help to develop and give a dynamic view and perspective on the world. And so we're really passionate about that. The next stat is about 55% of our students travel away. Yep, it was a pandemic year, so that didn't quite happen in the same way this year, but that is something that we do strongly support through something called Augie Choice, which is a $2,000 experiential learning grant that we offer to any student, no matter your financial need. That helps a lot of our students in our community see a lot of the world, and we think that's an important part of a liberal arts education as you, again, start to form those dynamics of your worldview. 98% of our students, which is my favorite stat, have a post-baccalaureate basically plan after they leave our campus. If you've ever talked to a family member or a family friend who might have been a little older and went to college and they complained about something, it usually has something to do about how prepared they felt for the world. College is hard, but trying to think about what comes after college is even harder sometimes. And we want to make sure that we support you as best as possible in that process. So very excited to be doing well as far as getting students into those next steps, as that tends to worry a lot of students. Is this going to be a good value? And so we do believe at Augustana it will pay off. So thinking about just the general application process, we won't have a ton of time to go over all of this today. You can find this information on the website, but the three quick kind of things are: one, we are a holistic review process. So we are looking at everything. We're not just looking for all the strong students in the world. We want a plethora of folks. We want to have those different ideas and things and your interest and your background. Most of our students will have a 3.0 recalculated unweighted GPA for admission. So if you're already in that realm, you're doing good. We're looking at co-curricular fit, again, thinking about what your interests are in, what can we offer you, but also what can you bring to our community as we look to enlighten ourselves through the views of our students. And then finally, demonstrated interest. We don't really like to talk about this, I feel like, on the college side, but it's a thing, right? Coming to these types of events, coming to one day in-person things when we're able to do that again are super helpful in showing us what students we really want to be able to support to determine if we're a good fit for you. So these are some of the things that we'll definitely take into consideration during the application process. And finally, but most importantly, we are and have been a test optional institution for about 10 years. While that became a big thing in the last year, we've been doing it for a while. So we feel really positive about using it for admissions, but also for scholarships as well. So as you're thinking about what scholarships you might be eligible for, think in terms of merit scholarships, which are things that we offer for both all students essentially, and that does include undocumented students. Specialty awards, we offer something called the Justice and Social Change Scholarship now, a micro scholarship opportunity for students to sit down and explore those social justice issues that are so important in our society today. So there are a lot of different ways to build your financial aid and packages with us. And we, again, are open to you looking at things for performing arts and all of those opportunities, which we will obviously work with you through as you explore Augustana College. I realize I probably have like no seconds left at this point, so I'm going to go ahead and move forward to my last slide. We are open for visits. They are being done very safely. I noticed someone asked earlier, our college is open. Many of us are starting to do that now. So if you are interested in getting on campuses, this is a great time to look at those schedules. We may not be having those larger open house days, but we can absolutely accommodate you for individual tours and things of that nature. I specifically at Augustana also offer interviews. So if that's something you're interested in, kind of talking one-on-one at a later date, I'll link my information in the chat. Really appreciate you all being here today and hope you have a wonderful weekend. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Albion College.
I'm going to put
You're muted, Robert. Ryan.
There you go. So I'll put my information in the chat. So if I don't hit anything, or if you guys have any questions about anything I don't cover today, please reach out to me. So Albion College. So we're a small liberal arts school, just like many of these schools here today. We're located in South Central Michigan. So if you take I-90 west, you'll be running right, or east, you'll run right into Albion College in 2 to 3 hours. We're a small school. So as you can see, our enrollment is about 1,550 students attend Albion College, and our average class size is 16. I like to think of these as an advantage because you're not just a number in a classroom, you're actually a person. Your professors are going to know your name, they're going to know a little bit about you and how you kind of grew up. So I just think that smaller class sizes, numbers that you see, the benefit is that you get that personal relationship with your professors and your staff. The faculty to student ratio is 11:1. So even if you're on campus or even if you're out and about in Albion getting a bite to eat or going grocery shopping, you're probably running into one of your classmates or a faculty or staff member. And I just think the more familiar faces that you see in your environment, the more comfortable you are in that environment. Next is our placement rate and our 4-year graduation rate. Our placement rate is 97% and our 4-year graduation rate is 98.5%. But the placement rate is 6 months after you graduate from Albion College. You'll be either placed in graduate school or you'll be starting your first professional job. As you can see, we don't just get you through college in 4 years and just have you on your own. We kind of help you find your next steps after you graduate from Albion College. And I'll talk about that a little bit more towards the end of my presentation. As far as the admission process goes, we take a holistic approach as well. We understand that students are involved in many different things. We understand that you're not just going to school or going home and doing homework. We like to think that students that are involved in different things are leaders, and that's what we like to recruit here at Albion College. So we take a holistic approach. In the next slide, I can kind of give you a visual of kind of what we look at as far as your application goes. In college, we are test optional now. We understand that COVID kind of pushed a lot of things back, so we are test optional. But these are the things that we are looking at as far as students' application goes. So the biggest thing we look at is your transcript. grade trend. We love to see positive grade trends. If you started off kind of slow as a freshman, but kind of improved year by year, we love to see that. We love to see your recommendations from your professors and teachers that you are learning from. And then we like to look at your essay, your discipline history, and as well as your extracurricular activities. So activities at Albion College, we have a union board. That's a student-led organization that throws a lot of different events on campus, and I think it's pretty cool. A couple of examples of events that our union board throw is different barbecues around campus. It's a park about 5 minutes from Albion College's campus, 5-minute walk. So they throw different events there. They had a drive-in movie night on our quad where students social distance and things like that. And they also had a virtual hypnotist that came to campus as well. So there's a bunch of cool different things that our union board throws throughout the year to just keep students engaged at Albion College. Greek life, we also have that at Albion College. Cool thing about us being a small school, 49% of our students are involved in Greek life. So if you're one of those students that are really interested in Greek life, we're the perfect place for you. But if you're not one of those students, that's perfectly fine, because essentially the other half of our student body is not involved in Greek life. We have over 100 clubs and organizations. Us being a small school, it only takes 3 students to start a new club on campus. I can tell you a quick example of last year, fall 2020. It was a group of 3 freshmen that wanted to start a new group, a gaming group on campus. Unfortunately, we did not have that at the time. But those 3 students got together and they wanted to start it. So obviously you can't just start a new group on campus. You have to do the background work behind that. And that's what those 3 students did. And we initially ended up having a video gaming group on campus in December. Fast forward to now, our video gaming group is not just a club on campus, it's actually now a sport at Albion College. So that's just an example of how you could kind of make your mark at a college, especially at Albion College. You only need 3 students to start a new club or organization. So like I said, it's over 100 clubs. So if there's not a club for you, you could grab 2 of your classmates and start that club. Athletics, we are an NCAA Division III school, so the biggest difference is we cannot give out athletic scholarships, but we are still a very competitive school as far as athletics goes. The sporting events is a real big thing on campus where pretty much the whole student body goes to every sport event. So that's a really big thing at Albion College, just supporting students supporting students and staff supporting students as well. So Albionism, so we have a bunch of different institutes just tailored for students, just depending on what they want to go into after they graduate from Albion College. One institute and center is our Kirk Institute for our entrepreneurship students. Our Ford Institute is for our anyone that wants to go into policy making or political science. Our Wilson Institute is for our pre-medical, pre-veterinary, and pre-dentistry students. Also have an honors program, and CSE is for our Center of Sustainability and the Environment. And affordability at Albion College, we give out merit-based grant scholarships for every student. How you get that? You have to apply. FAFSA opens October 1st. The Albion Commitment is another way you could afford Albion College. Come visit us as a senior and you will get a $1,000 business scholarship. And we also give out extra financial aid based on your FAFSA. Again, if you have any questions, you could reach out to me in the chat with my information.
Thank you so much. Next up, I'm going to invite all of our presenters to join me back on video for a little bit of a Q&A. I'm sure folks in the audience today would love to hear your advice and your professional opinions. So the first question is, what advice would you give someone going through the college search process? And we're going to go ahead and start with Aquinas College.
Yeah. Oh gosh, that's a really great question. I think my biggest piece of advice to start off this entire college process is to not be afraid to ask for help. That is why we are all on this call, right? We are all here just to truly help with this college process. I tell my students all the time, I'm here to help. I'm here to lessen the stress that you're going through, because on top of just going into being a senior, we have to still deal with COVID and that stress as well. And so that is just my biggest piece of advice is ask for help. Ask for help.
Earlham College.
If you need it, right?
Oh, yeah, there you go. Absolutely. Earlham College.
Yeah, so mine's going to be really practical, and I'm stealing it from another 6x6 I've done. Start an email that you have just for your college stuff, right? That way it never gets caught in your high school's filters, and you always know exactly where to go. You always know where to find emails. You don't have to dig through so much to go. It's just really nice to have that separated out so you can have, kind of your, different aspects of your life represented in different parts.
Kalamazoo College.
Good advice so far from my colleagues. I would add, don't be afraid of the sticker prices of college. Because we are small private liberal arts colleges, we may look like we're going to cost a lot more than your local state school might cost. But in fact, with our merit-based scholarships and financial aid capabilities, we may end up costing you less. So please just think about the fit that is right for you and apply to the schools you're most interested in, and then compare your costs later once you've been accepted.
Beloit College.
I'm going to piggyback right off my colleague and talk about fit. And I think one really easy way to find the college that is the right fit for you is by visiting. Visit colleges that are open right now for visits over the summer and the fall, and even as you get accepted. It's really a really important process to get on a campus, see what it's like, and be there in person, meet students, meet professors, all of that stuff.
Augustana College.
Yeah, I think my biggest thing would say, before you get to all of the other stuff, know that you're worth going to college. Don't feel like I shouldn't be here. Sometimes you look at that GPA and think, what the heck was I doing freshman year? And that's okay, because somebody is going to make sure you go to college. So have some faith in yourself, and then get to the practical stuff and start that with the confidence you need to be successful.
Albion College.
My advice will be just to visit as many schools as you can, especially just to get I know a couple of you guys had talked about right fit, and I think just to get the right fit, you have to visit as many schools as you can just to see how you want, what you want in the school. So I would just say visit as many schools as possible.
So quickly, we'll go through our next question. What is your favorite event or tradition on campus? And we'll start again with Aquinas College.
My favorite is homecoming. We really go all out for homecoming. It was really sad not to have it this past year, but we are excited to be doing it very safely, fingers crossed, in September. So homecoming is just such a great tradition for not only me as an alum of Aquinas, but for our students as well. We have alums on campus. We have a ton of events on campus. So that is definitely probably the most fun event on campus for our students, alums alike, faculty, staff, everybody. So a really, really great tradition. That, and students rub St. Thomas Aquinas's book, a statue that we have in our academic building, for good luck before a test or an exam. And I can attest it actually works. It helped me many times. So that's a couple that I like.
Earlham College.
Yeah, so I might be stretching the boundary of on campus, but my favorite would be our summer wilderness program, which is kind of a pre-new student orientation program that we put on for first year students. And so you go out this year, we're offering backpacking in the Uinta Mountains, so hiking and trekking through the Badlands of Utah. It's a really great bonding experience before you get on the campus, and it's our 50th anniversary of the program. So it's kind of at the top of my mind for that reason. But
Kalamazoo College.
Yeah, one of our traditions is called the Day of Gracious Living. And each year it's a surprise day off for students typically in May, which is during our spring term. And it started as a way to give back to the community after a storm, but it's kind of morphed into just a really fun day off for students who just relax on the quad, maybe get a trip to the beach. We've done some busing over to Lake Michigan beaches. So it's just a really fun surprise to look forward to in the spring.
Beloit College.
Very similar to Kalamazoo, we have a day off in the spring called Spring Day, and we invite different, like bouncy houses, bumper cars, caricature drawings, and lots of cotton candy. And it's just a fun day for people to relax finally after the long winter and some nice weather in the spring.
Augustana College.
Yeah, I think my favorite thing, oddly enough, would be move-in day. It's just like an energy like none other. I always get to drive the shuttle for parents, and it's just so fun to see that first day of a student's college life and then see them a year later and just see all the changes, kind of like a mom moment, I guess. But that's always the most exciting, probably for a lot of our students.
Albion College.
My favorite traditions is the sporting events. Every sporting event is pretty packed and it's real fun. You have pretty much the whole school is at every event. You have the fraternity guys with instruments and drums and things like that, making noise in the stand. So it's a pretty fun time during every sporting event at Albion.
Well, thank you so much to our wonderful presenters, and thank you all for tuning in. When you close this window, there will be a very quick 4-question survey. We really appreciate any feedback you can provide. In about a week, you'll be able to find this session's recording as well as all the other session recordings at strivescan.com/noble. Thank you so much again to our presenters, and have a great rest of your day. Thank you.